How's it going? You have a different view today, Jared.
You're gonna notice that a lot. I change it up quite a bit.
Are you
I'm just
constantly on the run? Is that why?
can't let people see the same thing all the time, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
I gotta
I'm
stand out somehow.
I am at a place right now where I'm by myself
All
and
by myself.
I want to start another podcast as well as this one, just kind of a shoot the shit but in person, like people
Oh,
from my area, so we can do it in person too.
Mm.
Um but I'm so right now my setup is in my dining room, um which I call my office. But I'm sitting here going, well, I live by myself. Like, I'm not attached to anything or anybody. I was like, my bed would fit perfectly in this little nook. That means I can make my entire bedroom a podcast studio. Like, I would have the room to do that. And I'm sitting here going, oh, do I want to do it?
do it.
Well, the thing that's holding me back a little bit is I have a fan in my bedroom. And I
Okay.
love a fan in my bedroom. Circulated air. I like being cold at night. That way I can just kind of bundle up. And
You should move to Minnesota. That's really easy to do.
I mean, it's
And
like
to be
snowing right
cold.
now here in
Yeah,
Wisconsin, so
it's snowing. Yeah, it snowed here up in northern Wisconsin and Minnesota too. You could just move to Minnesota, Dash, and then you can be cold most of the year and bundle up. And there's no energy. It's free. It's
I don't know about Oh man, you know what I was sitting here looking at just now? Hold on a second. Let me try to figure something out.
live on the air producing. How
Oh
you
man,
doing,
that
Dad?
sucks. So I work for a dance competition and I got my dates the other day and signed off all my contracts and everything, sent everything off. And every single year I go to Minneapolis.
Oh,
Guess what year I'm not going to Minneapolis?
this
this
year,
year.
huh?
This one. Yeah, I'm in
Aw, that's
Chicago
sad.
this year, which I haven't been to Chicago in a while. So Chicago is my favorite city. But I always go to Minneapolis every single year.
What
Um,
changed?
they just switch it up every once in a while, so the same people aren't in the same cities. Um, that and you start to get to know the people from that area. So you don't want to kind of come off biased
Bias.
because those people, even though I'm not judging. I'm literally just the assistant director for the entire competition that's there.
Mm.
But at the same time, like, I used to live in Cleveland. I don't go to Akron anymore because I know a bunch of those dancers from in the studios in that area. So that's why I don't go to Cleveland. The problem with that is that I don't get to see the people that I miss. But that was going to
God,
say,
that
because
sucks.
Stephanie, how far are you from Minneapolis?
Not very far at all. I mean, at
Yeah,
this current time, I'm about an hour and a half from Minneapolis.
but
When I
usually,
I just live outside of Minneapolis,
yeah, I
southeast.
was like, that'd have been awesome. We could have, you could have come over to the hotel and we could have done like a 3-person podcast. We could have had a threesome in the hotel for the podcast. But
I'm
I'm
only
saying,
like
like,
3.5 hours from
Oh,
Minneapolis.
my poor husband is not going to
three and a
watch
half.
this. He means
Three.
a podcast thruple, my darling. Don't
Yes.
worry.
Yes.
Y'all
Podcast.
could have met my husband, the
There you
large
go.
Viking. The
But it would
large
have been
Viking.
it would have been cool for at least for us to, get together to do like an in studio kind of like in person kind of thing rather than just our
Mhm.
faces in a screen like this. Well, I guess technically to everybody who watches us, they're in a screen. We're in a screen, so
We're all in the Matrix.
yeah.
In
No, see,
actuality, we're all bodies that are plugged into a little pod in a huge long rack.
Well, whoever's managing my pod set's doing a really bad job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your amniotic fluid temp is just not right.
I've been cold as hell since like Saturday morning. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I've been freezing cold all day long.
Said it
Let's
was
see remember the Matrix, though, they didn't want you to be too comfortable, because when the humans were too comfortable, they doubted it. But if you have a little bit of suffering, you'll think it's real.
It's 76 degrees in my room and I'm still cold.
What is it outside though?
45, maybe 40.
Yeah, we hit
31.
70. We hit 70 yesterday.
Why don't you shut the fuck up?
It's 60 right now.
You know what?
I don't mind.
So Stephanie, we have a rule at work that anybody from the warm areas doesn't get to talk about temperature during the winter months. So Dash, you are officially muted until it becomes spring again. Just saying, bud.
Well, that'd make it tough to do a podcast, wouldn't it?
Kind of would. It really would. I'm just not going to start the Zoom guy.
All right.
I'm Stephanie. I'm Jared. I can't talk. There you go.
So yeah, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is looking forward. We're in December.
We are.
My schedule starts in February. Middle of February.
Your schedule?
Yeah, to where I'm gone every weekend. So you can do things a couple different ways. Y'all could do a Sunday show that goes on Monday. You just upload it. And I'm fine with that.
All right.
You don't have to do it at the same time then, Jared, if you have a better time that works for you.
Whatever's easiest for you. I'm up at like 8 a.m. for no stupid reason. So.
Well, I have church on Sundays. So
well, I will say this too. Once my competition season starts, I don't do Uber. I don't do Uber. I don't do Amazon. All I do is teach dance, but that's on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, see that. Yeah, I mean, it still comes down to. I mean, we could do it on Monday.
What do you do for King Amazon? If I can ask.
Move packages around, sorting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting job.
Do you use one of those cool robots?
No.
Oh,
no,
you know, the cool
just these hands.
Tall robots. Oh.
No, just these hands.
I used to do something like that at East Bay way back in the days.
I just unload trucks pretty much and throw them on a conveyor belts, and then they get sorted into other nice piles. But I rarely do that. But like Uber's my main job. Of course, I have dance too, but it's like most Mondays I'm home. Thursdays I'm home. I guess the issue is going to come down to, and I'll know well in advance for this too. So most of the time, if I leave out on Friday, which is all the time, it's like at 4 a.m, which is perfect because we can do the podcast still Thursday night and I can edit it. And I'm usually done by 2:00 a.m. anyways. And then I can just go ahead and schedule it.
And then fly out in the morning.
Go ahead and pack and then leave in an hour. So, and then I always just sleep on the plane anyway. So Thursday show shouldn't be an issue. It's the Sunday show.
Steph and I can carry it. That's fine.
Do you have Zoom?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, but do you pay for it?
My work. I have Zoom through my work. I get on the Zoom call every day with 10 developers from Bulgaria. So I have the good pro Zoom.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So then Stephanie, you would just host it. That way you can just go for however long. Because if not, I did this like in the beginning, because if you don't have the pro, you can only go for like 45 minutes.
That's for 3 or more people. If it's just me and Stephanie, I can always host, or she can host. I've been using Zoom actually for a lot of my podcasts recently. Okay. It's just 2 people. You can go forever with 2 people.
Oh,
but once you add that third, yeah. Once you add that third, thank you. Once you hit that third person, that's when it really starts to get in trouble, and that's what she said too. So,
and then, the other thing too, because I think I've always done it with 3 people, with the show. Which, so if y'all wanted to bring a guest on for the Sunday show, I'd be cool with that too. And that way, talk about whatever, just something to keep in mind. I just know Sundays, from middle of February to the beginning of May, I will be al Sente from the Monday show.
Alrighty. Well, we'll talk more about it in January, probably.
Yeah.
Figure out who we want to do with that.
On a side note, I didn't realize how many like fast movies there were.
It's a lot of fast movies.
Yeah.
I was doing research on the best car chases, and
Yeah.
specifically ones from like the 70s. Man, some of those movies, and I've seen parts of the French Connection and things like that, but
Right.
man, so fun. Oh man, the practical launching these beautiful old cars and then destroying them. It's kind of sad because it's like the beautiful old cars that they're being destroyed, but it's also pretty cool and dangerous.
Yeah.
I still haven't done my list yet.
I usually do my list right after this while I'm editing, because I keep saying the Sunday show, the Monday show, wink wink, literally just has an intro thrown on it. I let this run and then throw an outro on it, do a thumbnail, and it's done. I like that. This is just unedited.
Unedited, live, unscripted, unfiltered, uncensored. SNH Live. So, okay. So then we got the show this week, and then we're doing the top 10 Spidey moments the week after that, right? Jared, did you get a chance to watch the Across the Spiderverse trailer?
No.
Looks
so good,
so beautiful, man. And I feel dumb because my reaction, I didn't know who the character was. No, I'm not as well versed in the Spider-Verse. I've seen all the movies, obviously, but
2099
comics.
2099 is my absolute favorite Spider-Man.
Why? So tell me about that character.
It's the costume more than anything.
Okay.
It's the costume, because if we're just talking across the board, I probably have to go Batman is my favorite.
Okay.
And the thing that makes Batman my favorite is the 3-prong wing on the side of the arm, where he can block blades or whatever and stuff like that. It's my favorite thing about his costume. Spider-Man 99 has the exact same thing.
Okay, that's cool.
That and the skull on his chest.
Okay.
It's just a really cool costume, and I think instead of going predominant red like all the other Spider-Men have, Spider-Man 2099 is a predominant blue with the red. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're a Democrat, right?
I'm not.
No politics. No politics on this show.
I couldn't stand the joke. I'm sorry. I had to include it.
We are politics agnostic here, folks. No, thank you.
But yeah,
I'll do my reaction tonight. I'm sorry.
You don't have to. No, you don't have to.
I was feeling like trash yesterday, and I didn't want to.
Well, I didn't do a Peacemaker, so you don't have to. We don't all. I don't think we all have to do a reaction.
You have to do a reaction.
Well, okay.
You have to do a reaction.
Everybody loves Stephanie.
I'm sorry, Stephanie, but
well,
I get like 2 and you get like 100. I don't know who's going to drive the channel.
Well, hold on. Let's for our listeners. There we go.
Oh my God.
Sorry, gentlemen. You're both blushing now. Apologies.
I will say this. Going back into, because of what we did and everything, and trying to mess around with the algorithm and yada yada yada. We didn't do any of that. YouTube, wink wink. But messing around with that. So yeah.
Just adding timestamps. Yeah.
Yeah. So with adding timestamps, renaming, titles, descriptions, all that stuff, our views within the last 12 hours have now gone up 42 views.
Wow.
And that's not including yours and my Spiderverse trailer.
Interesting.
I did not include that because I forgot about it, because you were still uploading and I was working on your thumbnail when I was writing the numbers down. So when that happened, so this morning when I woke up, we were at 39. Now we're at 42. 42 more views.
And it makes sense. The algorithm is all based upon, what things people are going to want to watch, right? So it's what you give and people that watch through the video and all that. But then also if something is just easier for people to understand, like what's going to be in the show, that makes sense that the algorithm is going to push it out to people.
Yeah.
Or they'll click through better. Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
Are we talking about the timestamps?
No, I did the timestamps to the one video, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's for our reactions, but
we did
renamed.
Okay.
renamed all of the reaction stuff. If you look at the YouTube channel, look at the reaction, how it's named. So we'll go with that from now on. And
Okay.
the reactions went up on each video. On each video, 1 to 2 views, with the exception of Stephanie's Matrix, which went up 17.
People like that one.
But it also, when we renamed everything to top 10 stuff, it pushed up all the episodes, even the older episodes from season 1, by like 2 or 3.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we put some timestamps.
Yeah.
Just makes it easy for people to, those long shows, they're really fun to listen to, but if you don't have enough time to listen to the whole thing and you just want to do chapter, it just makes sense. For people, it makes it easier for them to watch stuff.
And that's what I'm saying too. We don't necessarily have to go so in depth like you did. That was like, I was like, oh, she put timestamps. Okay. And then I saw it. I was like, oh my God.
I did put timestamps.
Everything. Yeah.
Well, because I thought they're kind of like, if somebody sees it's a long video, if they look at the timestamps and they'll see like maybe a funny topic,
right?
Because I said, Jared's brilliant dating ideas, or that we talk axe throwing and archery, or the fact you guys talked about video games for a little bit. They'd be like, oh, cool, I'll listen to that and see if I like it. Just gives them something to check us out. You can get into the shallow end of the pool a little bit before you dive all the way to the deep end. I don't know.
And I know probably I'm going to start today. All of the top 10 videos, all the Friday shows, I'm going to clip as well. So
what do you mean,
it may be, so say that, the disaster episode, that was a 2-hour episode. That's the longest episode I've had so far. But we didn't talk about, we didn't do the top 10 the whole time. So I think what I'm going to do is do a 30-minute or a 25 minute, a condensed version of the top 10.
Good idea.
For each of us. That way, if people just want to kind of get the cliff notes from it, they can click that video and watch it, and hopefully it'll kind of bring people more to the I'm at the office, or I'm in the car driving or whatever, and they'll come over and listen to the full length episodes or the BTS episodes.
Absolutely.
That's what PKA does. They have a bunch of side channels that actually do that for them. They'll clip little segments, and you can just like listen to the little segments. That's actually how I got hooked on PKA. It's a 4-hour podcast, but you hear those little clips and you're like, oh, let's listen to the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's an awesome idea, man.
I like long podcasts. I do. And originally I wanted this to be a 3-hour show because I wanted to make a podcast for people who listen to podcasts like me, which is I'm going on a road trip, or I'm in the car doing Uber all day. Granted, I have my Sirius XM, but I may have my AirPod in on my left side so people can't see it, but I can still listen to a podcast. And if I'm driving for 12 hours, I can knock out a good, 3 or 4 podcasts during that time.
We need to get that coveted truck driver demographic.
Really?
I've done a few 3-hour podcasts, man. Let me tell you, they drain you. Like, you're not going to want to do anything after that. Like, I know you like to get ready into editing. That's why I like that I have very minimal editing, to be honest with you. Because sometimes,
I couldn't even imagine editing a 3-hour podcast. It would take me because essentially when I'm editing, I'm watching the podcast again. Yeah, I'm having to see when to put those graphics in there for when we do our picks. But like this one last week, it was a 2-hour episode and it was the shortest editing.
Yeah.
Don't know why. It just was. I think this past Friday's episode was the smoothest episode we've had so far. But what I was saying earlier was it's funny because going back and looking when I was doing all these numbers and stuff, we've literally only been doing this show for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Already into the 500s for views. It's pretty good.
What I was going to say, it's crazy because of how well we click. And Stephanie, you can attest to this because you were there when we tried to do 5 people, and it was just like, that's an episode nobody will ever see. It was deleted. It was deleted. It was hard. It was extremely hard to do something. Movies is something I love, but I have love for a lot of things. But to try to give everybody their 15 minutes to talk about whatever, and then it was tough, but one, how well we click, and then two, how much content we've put up.
Mhm.
And I like that we've done, the reactions and stuff. I know one of the things that I'm going to probably do, I'm not 100% sure on it yet, is I want to do, and I hate using this term, but it's the only thing that I can think of right now, is like a Billy on the street kind of thing. And I wish, if anybody's listening and would love to be our correspondent on the street, speaking to the fans or whatever, reach out to us at snhpod@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Preferably not Twitter, because Twitter keeps logging me out. Anyways, what I was going to do was,
You want to interview her on the street?
right. Well,
Okay.
stay with me. So
Okay.
Spider-Man comes out next weekend, right?
Yeah.
Granted, I'm going to see it Saturday, and we don't want to give any spoilers out. And I thought it would be kind of cool if we went to the movie theater, got the microphone and everything, start recording. What was your favorite part of the show? But only give me wrong answers, not to spoil anything for anybody, and just see the kind of answers that people give you.
Kind of like, I loved the part where Andrew Garfield started showing up and playing the piano.
Exactly.
Oh wait, no, that's Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, but stuff like that, like I love it when Rick and Morty were. I say that because I'm looking at your flag now. Like Rick and Morty just showed up and started dance battling with the Pope. And it's just off the wall shit, because we know a lot about this movie coming up. But at the same time, when we look at the trailers and all of the the TikTok spots that have come out, the Snapchat spots, all the Facebook, Instagram, and everything, all the stories that have come out, we only know like two scenes.
Things. Yeah, basically.
That's it. There's a
scene.
whole lot of stuff. Yeah, the spell scene, and then the fight at the Statue of Liberty. That's it.
That's about it.
I think I got it
and
spoiled
the bridge
for me, though.
The bridge.
You got it spoiled. What?
I think I got it spoiled. I was on one of my favorite funny websites where I look at all the stupid memes and stuff like that, called 9gag, and I was browsing through the fresh section, which is a really bad idea, because you get some bangers, you get some good ones, but when people find like little niche things, because I'm pretty sure I saw an Arab version of Spider-Man Homecoming, and the cover art was almost exactly what somebody doesn't want to see. So I think the magic got spoiled for me for a second there. I was like, biscuits and gravy.
So you got it spoiled that certain people are in the movie, basically?
I think I can confirm based off of this cover art that we all know what's happening is happening.
It's about the worst kept secret in the world.
It really is.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but like it's just that official,
yeah.
I
think at this point they're kind of playing it off, right? They're still teasing it. No, we're not going to confirm anything until you go see the movie.
We haven't
to see the movie.
And we haven't gotten a final trailer yet.
I don't think they should. I don't know.
I'm saying usually when the movies come out, especially like big movies like this, because they always go final trailer. Like this is it. The last one was literally just labeled as Spider-Man trailer 2. Not the final trailer.
And someone look and see what Jimmy Fallon or any of those Jimmy Kimmel, what their guest lineup is for the next week. It seems like Kimmel's always the one dropping like final big things like that. I don't know. Or the Tonight Show or one of those. We'll have to see if
I don't know. I don't
Tom
know
Holland
since
COVID
and stuff. Well, this is the thing too. Did you see the interview that they did? That Tom Holland was a part of it. But it dropped like yesterday.
Yeah, the villain panel. Yeah, I saw a bit of that.
Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx, they did an interview with them, and it was like from Belgium or something. I can't remember. So, and then we finally got from the Instagram video that Spider-Man dropped of Willem Dafoe in the hoodie.
Yeah, that looked really cool. I saw that. He looks crazy. That's the best. Willem Dafoe is crazy Dafoe.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
Now I gotta go see it on Saturday. God damn it.
I looked and found a lot of showtimes by my place. It's funny, in like downtown Minneapolis, there's no showtimes. Like the biggest theater is a town called Eden Prairie, not far from me, which is where is it Mallrats? Where Mallrats is filmed is in the. You should come there sometime if you ever in Minneapolis again. There, Dash. The mall where Mallrats is filmed is actually in Eden Prairie. But I think that's right. I hope I'm correct about that. But anyways,
I love Mallrats too.
Well, you should come see the mall. It's really cool. That's not that cool, actually, just a mall. But it was one of the first ones, so that's a big kind of a deal. But that one has like one showtime on a Thursday and one on Friday, like no showtimes. And then these other theaters, like 15 showings, and I can get seats wherever I want, whenever I want. So I really don't have an excuse. I might have to go like during the day on Friday, since we're going to be recording on Thursday night. So I can't go Thursday night like I usually do with Marvel movies if I'm going to the theater. I'll have to go.
Well, I think that's good though too. If you don't go Thursday night, then we're on a level playing field. Then it's not a like, what's my number one best Spider-Man moment? I wish I could tell you, like, because
I can't tell you.
Yeah, I know. I think it's good that we're on even playing field, and I think hopefully we've all seen it by Sunday's show.
Well,
to where we can really get into it and talk about it.
That depends on if Jared can get a showtime.
Oh my God. So Thursday and Friday, because I'm looking at the showtimes right now. Right. You guys are on my second monitor that I finally picked up. There's only one showing in my theater here in town this weekend on Thursday, one showing on Friday, and then Saturday there's only 3 showings. But if I go to a town where I know I can watch this, there's a showing like every 20, 40 minutes, 10 a.m., 10:40, 11:20, 12:40, 1:40, 2:20, 2:03. And I'm like, wow, really?
A lot of them. Mm-hmm.
Jiminy Christmas.
That's how it is at the theater I'm going to in Durham. I'm very excited. I get to see it in IMAX. I've never been to an IMAX movie.
Is it fake IMAX or real IMAX?
It's real IMAX. It's an IMAX theater.
Well, it's an IMAX theater, but is it the giant size IMAX theater? Real IMAX? Oh, that's cool. I'm very jealous. They had one here in Minneapolis for a long time at the zoo, and it's not showing movies anymore, but that's where I'd always go to go see.
They, if I'm not mistaken, like right in the beginning of COVID, when everything was shut down, they remodeled because it was like a 24 theater place, and then they dropped it down to like 19, I think, to give more space for the IMAX theaters.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I've never been to an IMAX theater, never seen anything in IMAX, so to be able to witness this, and especially like the big fighting scenes. I mean, what we've seen with Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard, just that shot alone would be one thing to see it on a screen here, but to be able to see it.
Bring your brown pants.
Yeah.
Bring your brown pants. So guess who finally decided to join the rest of the crew here and caught up on Hawkeye?
You did?
Oh,
you caught up?
I binged all 3 episodes right before this. Nice. I caught up. Yeah.
Have you watched New Rockstars yet?
The what?
New Rockstars?
No.
To get everything that you missed?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to.
You don't have to. It's just a fun thing to do because, I mean, they put in work over there.
But that spoiler thumbnail that we saw, like if I don't know if I hadn't seen that spoiler thumbnail, if I wouldn't have
caught it.
Known. Yeah, I might not have ever caught it. I thought I might have though. Well.
About Spiderman or Hawkeye?
Hawkeye.
Okay, you guys can just stop right now.
Well, I won't say what the spoiler is, but the spoiler is about the scene where young little Maya is like at the dojo and she's like fighting that bigger black kid. At the end of that, there's a hand and a voice that pinches her cheek.
Uncle.
Uncle. Yeah. The spoilers that I think I saw to spoil who that uncle might be.
Did you see the new Rockstar video?
No.
Of things that it points to and stuff. It's ridiculous of how it's just a plethora of Easter eggs throughout the first 3 episodes that point to it. And I was like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? What? Like, yeah. But again, I hope we're not getting Mephisto,
No, it won't be Mephisto. That would be so stupid.
No, but I'm saying, we thought it was. And then we thought it was. I'm hoping we're not getting, tricked like this again. We're like, hey, everybody look over here. Don't look to see what's going over here. You know?
Well, my buddy Alex, who's like a huge comic. Yeah, he's a huge comic book nerd. I don't think he watches this. No. But like anytime I have questions, like I text him up and like I hit him up. And one of the first things that he said to me, he's like, oh yeah, who do you think Uncle is? And I was like, what are you talking about, that Uncle guy? And like they mentioned it like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Jared is like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. But also, did you guys know Echo, the main bad girl, is from Wisconsin?
The girl is from the actress?
The actress is from Wisconsin, and this is apparently her breakout role.
That's awesome. She's really cool.
Well,
I love
her, yeah.
She was in Black Widow.
Was she?
Yes.
Was she?
Yes, she is in the scene at the end where all the widows get.
Is she?
Like the.
I thought about that. Like I thought at first when I saw her that she might be a widow that has been released, because right at the end of Black Widow, all the widows have been released.
Well, that's what I had was like, she looks like that chick from Black Widow. And then I'm watching New Rock Stars, and they get to episode 2. She's at the end of that one, and it was the breakdown for that. And then they mentioned that she was one of the widows in Black Widow. That it's going to go. So I mean, if you know anything about Echo,
don't. I know she might be a Daredevil character, right?
Well, for the most part, if you know who Echo is and who her adopted dad is, it kind of goes along with this storyline. So
again, I won't say what the spoiler is, but I really hope the spoiler is true, because
I do too. Well, at one point they were
everything want to see that character back.
Kevin Feige said he was bringing everything canon.
Okay.
Whether it's TV shows, movies, comics, everything will be canon. So we're talking, I think ABC shows, Netflix shows, even though they were canceled, there were already talks about when like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and
did you guys watch any of those? I mean,
obviously
you watched Daredevil.
I watched Daredevil.
Watched Daredevil. Do you guys watch Jessica Jones?
I watched a couple episodes. I'm a big fan of her too.
I
just had shit going on.
Jessica Jones was
but there were talks about bringing those shows over to Disney Plus because their contract was up. They were canceled. Yada yada.
Did they kind of follow the same like guideline as the Iron Fist and whatnot?
What do you mean?
I don't think the Iron Fist should be brought back.
I don't either.
Awful. Okay, because I had an ex who loved Iron Fist or whatever, and like she would watch it religiously, and I was like, this is like a Marvel TV series. I was like, it's like the same episode over and over. A bad guy comes in, he unleashes his power, and then your reaction is 100% correct, Stephanie. Like I was like, no, I don't want to, and that's why they were like Jessica Jones and all these other ones. I was like, yeah, no, if it follows the same guideline, I'm out.
No. Jessica Jones, the first season. So Jessica Jones has Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity in it. So Trinity from The Matrix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that actress plays a lawyer in Jessica Jones, and also David Tennant, who's one of the doctors from Doctor Who, plays the Purple Man in the first season of Jessica Jones. And just the Purple Man is somebody who can make anybody do what he wants just by speaking. Like if he asks for something, you have to do it. And Jessica spent like a year under his control and finally got out from his thumb. That's the kind of the gist of the first. That's like the pre of the first season. There's some stuff that she did. The first season of Daredevil, the first season of Jessica Jones, and the first season of Punisher, some of the best television I've watched in a long time.
The Punisher was good,
especially Daredevil.
Well, I'd say especially Jessica Jones. I like Jessica Jones better than Daredevil, but I can see why people like Daredevil.
Season 2 of Daredevil was amazing. The People versus Frank Castle, in my opinion, is if it is the best episode in TV history.
Really, they tied Punisher over with it.
So good.
They tied the Punisher in with Daredevil.
Punisher started on season 2. Season 2 was Punisher and Elektra.
And really, he teamed up with Elektra?
Yeah. And then the Punisher season spun off of that. But the best episode is The People versus Frank Castle. It is the best episode, in my opinion, in TV history. That episode is so good. The writing is perfect. It is perfect. And what's his name? The guy who plays Punisher. I mean, he's perfect.
John Barenthal.
Yeah, there we go. I hear that name and I think it's Jay Baruchel. That's not the same.
Yeah, no, totally different.
Can't imagine seeing Jay Baruchel play the Punisher. No, it's a great show. Great show.
I'm just trying to picture Jay Baruchel being the Punisher now.
Right.
The thing I loved about the first season of Punisher and second season of Punisher is the guy that played Jigsaw, Ben Barnes. Ben Barnes, that actor.
See, I I didn't watch. I did watch season 1 of Punisher. I didn't watch season 2, nor did I watch the last season of Daredevil.
I didn't
because it took place after the Defenders, and I didn't watch the Defenders mainly because of Iron Fist.
Well, so the Defenders improves Iron Fist, right? So the Defenders has Iron Fist in it, and he's not that big of a thing. So Stick is in it from Daredevil. That guy is in it. And Elektra. Yeah, Scott Glenn is in it.
Great actor.
And it's okay. And it's got Sigourney Weaver, which is awesome. You know, gotta love her. Yeah. Sigourney Weaver is Ripley from Alien. Jared, just trying to.
I know who Sigourney Weaver is.
I'm just making sure. Okay, I'm just.
She was in Ghostbusters.
She was in Ghostbusters. She was hot as shit.
Jared.
In Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I know when someone's attractive. Okay.
But no, so we bring up that. So, do you know the guy who played Daredevil on the Netflix show?
No.
Charlie Cox.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing at playing Daredevil. It's rumored that he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Which is why the teaser in Hawkeye makes sense. Because then they can tie that.
Spoilers. Stephanie, just tell me what the fucking spoiler is. Was that the spoiler that he might be in there?
No.
That's been a spoiler. That's been Charlie Cox as Daredevil, and I don't think he's going to play Daredevil.
I saw the leaked photos.
The rumor is he's going to be playing, Matt Murdock as the lawyer for Spider-Man. And then that came out the same day that the 3 Spider-Men are going to be in there. So
okay. So what? Just I already said it, so the audience should know it's coming. Stephanie, what is the thumbnail spoiler? Yeah, what is the thumbnail spoiler? I want to just know now. Just tell me.
Okay, so the spoiler is that Echo's Maya, her uncle, that uncle character, is Kingpin.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's the spoiler.
In the comic, Kingpin killed Maya's dad. And she was adopted by Kingpin. You know how Marvel will take one little thing and go, well, we don't want to. If you read the comics, then you're just going to fucking know. Right. So they'll twist things. So everything from. Go ahead.
But that was her uncle then that she was talking to.
Well, so the guy that died, the guy that died was her father. So the guy that got killed by Ronan was her father. But then in the dojo, the guy pinching her cheek and saying, ha ha ha. I could tell. I don't know if I would have been able to tell by the voice, but the voice was pretty much Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Okay, so I get the Kingpin, but then Kingpin killed her dad, but we just saw Ronan kill her dad.
Yeah, so in the comics, Kingpin killed Echo's dad. So they're twisting it. Instead of it being Kingpin that killed her dad, she's still being adopted by him.
This is where Kevin Feige will change subtle things, so people who know the comic storylines won't be able to keep up 100%, that they're still surprised by things.
So that's why Alex was a little confused. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
So we are off of spoilers now, everybody. You can keep watching.
I will say this. I was surprised because I didn't know that Echo was going to be on the show.
Yeah.
I knew about her show coming up on Disney Plus. And I was sitting here going, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, they'll probably introduce her at some point. But with all these other shows coming up on Disney Plus, I didn't think it would be until like whatever show was right before it, not the 4th Disney Plus show. On the 2nd episode.
Did you guys think that little half star that her dad had and that was embroidered on or imprinted on her chest? I caught that. That was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is that though? I don't know what that is. I didn't catch it.
He had a half sun tattoo, kind of like right here, and then she had a half sun embroidered on her jacket, like it was stamped on her jacket. Yeah,
I like that actor. I've seen him in a few things. The guy that I forgot, I didn't look him up, but the guy that played her father, he's been in a few things that I like. So I was kind of excited to see him, and then excited to see him go.
There were a couple things from Uncle's cufflinks.
Just the voice. The voice. He was wearing
cufflinks. In the Daredevil show, Kingpin is obsessed with cufflinks, and so like the suit he was wearing, he had cufflinks. The laugh is Vincent D'Onofrio's laugh. The auto shop that the tracksuit crew was at is called Fat Man's Auto
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there's subtle things here and there spread out along the first 3 episodes,
Crazy.
but it's just like it's Kingpin. It's him.
I want a
Yeah.
It's
tracksuit.
him.
I want a
I do
tracksuit real
too.
bad.
I do too. Let's change this to shorts and tracksuits.
Mm,
No, probably not.
no.
By the way,
There's a-
funny thing I should tell you guys. Sorry, I apologize for interrupting. My husband the other day when we came out to the car when we left to come up here, he was wearing a hoodie and shorts. And I'm like, well, thank you for joining the Shorts and Hoodies podcast.
Thank you for being a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I broke it. I'm wearing a t-shirt today.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well,
Nobody's wearing
I'm
hoodies.
trying to get the view count up here.
I mean, I could do that too. I just gotta, give them the little. No, that doesn't go that low. All right, nobody wants to see that anyways. We're good.
Speaking of going that low, sorry, Jared, I interrupted you again. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Well, I was gonna say, thinking of things being low, today is race day for Formula One, so I have to go and watch the race because I'll give you guys. You guys don't care, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. It's really heated. The Formula One, there's a qualifying session before you have to go into the race, and the 2 top drivers, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, they're like 8 points apart, 6 points apart, something like that. And Max was about to take pole, and then on the last corner, he spun out and crashed. So,
Who are you pulling for? Who do you like?
Well, who do I like? My favorite driver is the second Red Bull driver, which is not Max, it's Checo. But I'm hoping that Max Verstappen wins because Lewis Hamilton's won 7 times and Max is going for his first. So switch it up a little bit.
I saw a meme about Red Bull pulling a fast one, and I was like, "That's interesting." And then I thought of you for a brief moment, and then I continued scrolling on Reddit. So
I'm Team Red Bull Racing.
Wins. I hope
Richard Petty.
Yeah, Richard Petty. He's my favorite Formula One racer, right? No,
Dale Earnhardt. Dale
Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt. Rest in peace.
Man was a legend.
He was a legend. Yeah, I remember I watched the race after he passed away when Dale Earnhardt Jr. ended up winning the Daytona 500.
That's one of those things I remember where I was in the car and remember them breaking into like the song stopped. Yeah. And it was like Dale Earnhardt has passed away. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I got to see it live in a bar.
What?
Oh, did you? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
it didn't look like that bad of a crash. It didn't. And then all of a sudden, like 4 days later on the news, they're like, yeah, this is what happened. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know NASCAR could be that dangerous.
Well, and there's something about it, the way that he hit is kind of the same way that Ayrton Senna, who's a big Brazilian Formula One driver, kind of the same way he died, head-on collision that shouldn't have been that bad, but like 6 inches above or below where he was, he would have survived. Same thing with Dale, just 6 inches above or below where he hit, he might not have severed I think he severed his aorta or something like that. Terrible, quick way to die. Hey, what a lovely way to end the episode. Nice having
you. Go get your octane, girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get my octane. That just sounds dirty.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me.
It was meant to be dirty.
That's what she said.
Y'all can't be the only dirty one on the show.
All right, everybody go get their octane. The viewers can get their octane this Friday, 8 a.m. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. The top 10 fastest movies.
Try to guess how many Tom Cruise are going to be on my list.
I just remembered a Tom Cruise movie that I need to add in there.
Try to guess how many Fast and Furious movies are going to be on my list.
I'm guessing 9.
Hey, guess what I'm getting ready to go fucking do? I'm going to go watch Lord of the Rings.
Have fun.
Love it, buddy. If you have any questions, please don't text me. Just text us.
If you have questions,
I'm gonna go be a cowboy. You guys have fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Cut the check.